is up, my guys? So, sorry, I'm just waiting. Okay, so I decided that I wanted to make a sort of like a New Year's video, which didn't really work out for me because I wanted to upload on like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, you know, because it's a sort of 2020 recap and plans for 2021. But yeah, that didn't happen. It's January 3rd, so I have absolutely no excuse to be uploading this today, but I don't even really feel like editing this, so I'm gonna try and talk as fluid as possible, if that makes sense, which didn't work because I think I made like a stupid 10-second pause or something, because we're already at a minute and I haven't even said anything. But yeah, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. We got a nice cup of coffee here, so it's gonna be a nice like chit chat with whoever's interested, because I wrote like a sort of short version, yes, short, on my spam account, but I feel like I didn't really say everything I wanted to say. This is probably gonna be like a 30-minute TED talk about like my life, so literally just 1 year of it. So this is already empty, by the way. So I feel like to get into the beginning of 2020, I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit, even as far as 2018, just to give everything a bit of context. So there's going to be a brief run over of 2019, just to sort of like make it, I don't know, it doesn't feel right to go straight into it because there's like, yeah, okay. So let's go back to the summer of 2018. I'm sorry, this is becoming like a life story video, even though like it's supposed to be the recap of 2020. So we go back to the summer of 2018. That's when I decided to run track like consistently. So I joined Rotterdam Athletic that year, and it was easily one of the best decisions I ever made. I'm sorry, I have no idea why this like side of my face is way redder than the other one. Okay, I'm sorry. And I started by training for the 400. I spent, I think, the first 2 months completely focused on the 400 and shorter. No, not short, I wouldn't say. It was the 400. And then I started working with a middle distance coach, I think December of 2018. And that's when I figured I was better off working on the 800. Boy, was I wrong, by the way. Like, that's a completely different, we'll get into that. So, and I had like no endurance, you know, because I was starting from basically nothing. I didn't go on long runs and stuff, so I have no endurance. Oh man, like those first 2 months hit me like a truck. And in April 2019, when we went on the study break, that's when I started racing more, and I started like finally improving and seeing, you know, my fitness improve, and you know, but I was still way slower than most people in the group. Like, I'm way slower. I ran a 540, 1500, and I was so happy with that. And I could not get under 248 for the 800 for, like, if my life depended on it. I could not break 248 for some reason. Like, I raced it so many times. I couldn't, but, like, you know, the trainings I did said I could. And then I went on a vacation to my cottage, and something happened there, but I got fast. Like, I'm not at the level that I am right now, but, like, it was huge jump in fitness, and I was like, when I came back, like, and I was running those times at training, it was like, it was insane. And I was still really on a high from the exam, so I was like, okay, like, you're not gonna kick my butt, I'm gonna kick yours. So I was already getting ahead in my classes on like the second day of school and everything. Like, at this point in 2019, September to November, I was really living it up. Like, my life was pretty perfect. And then eventually there was a sort of burnout, I would say. I'm sorry, there's like someone talking like right outside my window. I'm getting distracted. Okay. Anyway, so around November 2019, I ran my first race at the national level. It was one of the cross-country races, the first one in the circuit, and I just felt so empty and like tired. And it wasn't like the race tire when you push yourself, it was like I was running on nothing. And it was really weird to me because at this point, like, I had really gotten over it. I don't want to get into like disordered eating habits because that's like a different video if I ever film it, but I was eating a lot more than I was in like 2018, and it was weird to me, you know? So I was like, okay, I have to get stronger, I have to gain weight. So I did, and December was a very strange month, I would say. I got like a little bit heavier, and I got a lot faster. Let me make that clear. I got a lot faster after that. Because the thing was, I didn't even realize I was eating then, to be honest. And then I had this race in Apeldoorn, which completely changed everything, to be honest. Like, I was this pretty decent runner before then, you know? Like, way better than I was before, and it was like, okay, you've got potential. And everyone expected me to run like 5:30, 5:25. I ran 5:17. I didn't even know what splits I was supposed to hit. I just ran. And I had such a blast. I felt pretty good. And it was like, since then, my coach's expectations have been like up here, so it's been quite a party, but that was an adventure. So I left 2019, this was like 2 weeks before the end of 2019, on like a huge high. I was like, if I can do this, I can do anything. Like, I had these huge goals going into 2020, and I knew I could do them. Like, that's the thing. I usually have a good degree of self-doubt going into things. But with this, I was like, my mind was crystal clear. I was like, I know I can do this. I know what I have to do this, and I'm going to do this. The same for studying. I was like, I'm going to get back on. Because in December, I faced a little bit of a rut, if you will. It was in the middle of term, break was approaching, so it wasn't a big deal. I didn't, like, my grades didn't drop. And I was like, okay, you know what? No, we're getting on this. So in January, oh my god, this was like the fittest. Not that I've ever been, I'm fitter now, but this was definitely one of the periods where I've been extremely fit. Like, looking back on the times that I ran in January of 2020, like, at trainings, my heart rate was really low, so it shows that, like, the effort was not that much. But then again, like, lower heart rate, cooler temperature, so you never know. Like, that's that. And then February, I do remember, like, getting halfway through February, and I was starting to hit another wall that I faced in, like, December, and I could, like, I was mentally tired with homework and stuff, and training as well. Like, I was starting, like, I woke up sore pretty much every day of the month. Like, I wish that was a joke. It's, like, it was really hard to keep training every day, but I kept going, and that's also the birth of the peanut butter runner, which grew way more than I expected, but this also became a responsibility of mine. And then in March, after the ski trip, I had taken like a week off running or so, and then like March 1st was the finals of the nationals for the cross. I don't know, it wasn't that fast, but I got like 10th place, so I can't figure out how that even happened, but I'll take it. A week later, I set like a 2-minute PR in the 5K, and that was like, and I felt really good. Like, I could have gone faster. I wish I had gone faster because it felt pretty easy, to be honest. But yeah, no, that was great. And then we went on lockdown. So this was like a huge slap in the face for me, to be honest, because as you can see, after the little break I took from school and running on the ski trip, like, I was really in a good place. Like, I don't know if I would say I was as fit as I was in January, but definitely up there. And then it just sort of became like March and April, I would say. Like, in terms of school and athletics, I pushed myself way too hard. Like, I'm looking back on like recovery runs, they were like at 4:35 pace, which is not recovery run for me. Like, that's like, that falls under tempo run thing. And I was posting on the account like every day, and it was growing, and I was like motivated to keep posting and keep doing things. And at this point, at this period, I was starting to gain like a little bit of like a few quarantine kilos, if you know what I mean. But like it just came naturally because I wasn't walking to school anymore. I wasn't going to the grocery store because my parents don't want me to go. So, you know, it happens. And it was really mentally tough, to be honest. Like, this is, I think, the only reason I didn't like quarantine was because of this. And by May was a good month. Like, by then I was really settling in. I was starting to take runs a little bit easier, played Just Dance a butt ton. So May was a pretty good month, and I ran my 10K PR, which still stands. I have not broken that PR, and I don't want to try. Like, that hurt a lot. And also, I ran my first and only half marathon. Again, I don't want to do that again. I'm not planning on doing that again soon. That hurt a lot. And then June, we started racing again, like internally, just our team. And the first race was a huge slap in the face because, like, I got completely dropped from the pack that I usually train with. So that was like, what the heck? But the time wasn't even that bad. Like, it was like 15 seconds faster than my personal goal, so, you know. And then like 2 weeks later we raced the mile, and I set a PR in the 1500 on that split, and even though it's unofficial, that's still my PR. And my VO2 max was like the highest it ever was, and that was, July was like a bleed in from June. Like, the first 2 weeks of July were the same. And I ran like the fastest I've ever run on a 5 times 1,000. That's sort of how I like, that's sort of my benchmark for my fitness, to be honest. And that still stands. I have not broken that. And then we went on vacation to my cottage again. Now, going back to what I said before, this was like a huge jump in fitness for me last year. So I was expecting the same thing. Like, I was expecting to come back from my vacation super fit. Endurance off the charts, speed off the charts. But that's not what happened. Like, I swam and ran every single day, and I don't know what I did wrong, but I was so tired after this. Like, I remember coming back from my cottage. I think the program was like 4 times 1,000 and 10 times 100. Something like that. Those 1Ks like hit me like, I've said hit me like a truck. Now these hit me like a meteor. Oh my god. Like, I remember that's like the first time I've like physically fallen after a rep was finished. I was that tired and my legs were that heavy. Long runs as well, they were so slow, but I was just dying the whole time. And then I took August pretty easy, to be honest, like in terms of runs, but on the track I was hammering up 400-meter reps pretty much every single time because I was training for a 3K. And the 3K, it was supposed to go like about 20 seconds faster, but the weather was like ass, so like I think I warmed up for like 2 laps and then got on the start line. So, but I still ran like 11:29, so that's a pretty good time, to be honest. I could beat that now, but I haven't. We'll see. But anyway, so we ran 11:29. It was like, okay, you're in pretty decent shape. I mean, that's 3:49 pace. That was the pace of my 1K rep PR for 5 times 1,000. So I was pretty on my fitness, to be honest. But then, like after that, it was just a downward spiral, to be honest. Like, the months of September and October were honestly not good for me. Like, that's probably like the low of 2020, to be honest. In September, school started, and I was just, I don't know, the motivation for some reason just wasn't there. Like, I wanted to do well, obviously, but I don't know, like, I just was really burned out from the summer. Like, because I also studied in the summer. There was just like this massive burnout which I couldn't recover from, and I can't even pinpoint when it started. But it was also in terms of running. Like, I remember in September we ran 5 times 1,000. It was about 4:01 to 4:03, somewhere there. It averaged between that. It wasn't 4 flat, and it wasn't under 4, and it was not above 4:05. But I was like dying so hard. It was harder than the one that I ran the record in. Believe me. And it wasn't that fast. I was so confused because I was supposed to be the fittest I've ever been right now. Because this time last year I had run 12:08 on the 3K on just a random time trial. And I felt fine. Like, it was still weird. And also for school, like, I was lacking motivation. My grades had dropped. Most people had, but like, mine dropped like this pretty big punch in the face, to be honest. And I don't know, in October, my coach told me to take the first 2 weeks off from like long runs and stuff, only do the track session, so I was only running like 3 times a week or something. And that helped, but it didn't help. And I don't know, like, this was definitely the peak of my burnout. I was still, like, I couldn't shake off the quarantine kilos, and I was just overall, like, unhappy and unmotivated, and just, you know, I was also hungry all the time because I was trying to run off the weight and it wasn't working, and I was just getting injured and just not a fun time. Then, like, November was same-ish the first 2 weeks, still, you know, not good. And then around halfway through November, I would say, things started to change a little bit. Wait, I'm gonna my bullet journal. Like, I write all of this down. I would say it was halfway through November. Yeah, around the 15th that was like my first good training in like months, where it actually went pretty well. But the 21st of November, this was a week later, like, I remember I went out really hard on a long run, and that pace, that time last year, I'd be able to hold for the whole long run. Like, I'm still kind of in shock at how fast I could run 15 kilometers. And I remember just, like, feeling so upset with myself that, because I thought that what I decided around that time last year to get stronger and gain some weight was the reason I was unfit now, which is not true. It's just I wasn't strong enough to run with the extra strength that I had, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But yeah, so, and then the next day the training went pretty well, to be honest. I felt really good, and I remember thinking to myself, okay, we're activating kill mode now on like the last rep of the fartlek. And then we're in the last week of November, and by now, yeah, I was starting to feel a lot better on trainings, and I was starting to really pick up my act, to be honest, getting a little bit more productive in terms of school. And then in December, it was a little bit on and off, like, at the beginning, but this is when I started going to the gym again, because I was really, like, strength training only once a week, and even that was, like, inconsistent. So I started strength training more, and this led me to get, like, a bit stronger, and I also started swimming. This was huge for me. Swimming was, like, I think it's what led me to how I am right now. We'll get to what right now means for me. And because it's like resistance training, you know, like, my arms, they got a lot stronger from swimming. Okay, like, I know they're still noodle, but, like, okay. And it's like, it gets your heart beating, you know, it's like, is it anaerobic? I have no idea, I don't take bio. But yeah, so it's like best of both worlds. I got, like, and you get ripped from swimming, okay? It's like the best my abs have been in, like, so long. And then we had, like, the trainings weekend where we had, normally this would be in Zeeland or somewhere, or in Portugal, which we didn't go to. And you have, like, you train, like, 2 or 3 times a day for, like, the weekend, right? For if you're there for a week, like we were supposed to go to Portugal, not every day is going to be this hard, but we had, like, a weekend. It was, like, 48 kilometers in the weekend alone. And I remember I felt super good on that long run. Like, we were running, like, 4:46 pace. I felt fine. And yeah, and then I'm trying to figure out where I'm at right now. Okay, this is the weekend before trainings weekend, and then I don't know, like, I'm reading each day in the bullet journal. I was just, like, living my best life, if you know what I mean. Like, best, I don't know. Like, I can't name a single week that was just the best week in my life, but this was definitely up there. Like, I can, like, hear the ecstaticness in my voice. And then yeah, so we're in the last couple weeks in December now, and things were definitely starting to look up. I started hitting some spicy tempo runs, which I haven't done since like June, because they were just like kind of death, and I didn't want to do that again, and my heart rate was way too high, and my coach got mad at me, so. But like just once a week, we push the pace. The other runs are easy, don't worry about it. And hot damn, I'm fast. Like, this was a huge boost of confidence, to be honest. Like, I thought I was pretty unfit, but like this honestly showed me that I've been severely underestimating myself. And yeah, and then we had a 5 times 1,000 and 5 times 200 this week, like the last Tuesday, and I averaged the fastest I've ever averaged in winter. The record that I mentioned like several times before, that was in summer, so we'll break that this summer. Like, I can guarantee you that that's getting smashed. But yeah, I like it was a, like, if you compare it to all of the winter trainings, because you run slower in winter, let me clarify that. Your muscles simply aren't as excited, I guess, in winter. So you run slower, so. But I killed that and I felt okay, so I was super happy. And then this was really recent, the long run that we just did. Oh my god, it felt so easy, but we were going so fast. And yeah, I'm sorry, I like really zoomed in on the last couple weeks, but that's just me saying, like, currently, like, my fitness, I don't know, man. I don't want to like jinx anything, but like, we're doing alright. Like, this is probably the fittest I've ever been. And yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I won the cross race at our track from the girls, so thank you. But yeah, and I've also been like pretty productive this winter break for the mocks. Those are probably gonna punch me in the face, so I'm gonna start, ranting in the downward cycle by next week, but we'll enjoy the moment while it lasts. So, oh my god, this video is 22 minutes long. Okay, thank you for coming along on my life story. In terms of plans for 2021, I don't know. I don't want to make too many, because as we saw at the end of 2019, Corona really like crossed off everything on my to-do list. So in terms of athletic goals, I would definitely want to go under 5 in the 1500. That's like a huge benchmark, like barrier that I want to break. Under 11 in the 3K, I think, and under 230 in the 800 for sure. I need to break 230 in the 800, which was a huge PR that I set, but that was in September, and I was not feeling myself, as we discussed. And under 20 in the 5K, that's the other one. And I do want to score at least 40 points on my IB diploma. That's the number I've decided on, and it's ambitious, but I'm gonna do it. And yeah, I've definitely tried to shift my mindset from like forcing myself to be this productive athletic person, that fits everyone's view of what I should look and be like, if that makes sense, to like sort of doing things that make me feel good about myself and like the person that I am, So what I mean by that is, like, it's not to say that I don't train 9 times a week anymore. I still train that much, but I sort of have a different mindset when I go for a run, like, I'm not going for the run just because I have to. I'm doing it because I want to work towards my goals. Or when I'm studying, I don't force myself to just do the past week. It's so hard to focus if you're just thinking like that. I've been trying to, that's my New Year's resolution, to sort of change my mindset towards my tasks. Sort of like saying, this is going to help me achieve the 7 in said subject, And just that has really helped me, be more positive about things that I have to do, not look forward to things, Obviously, I don't enjoy everything, but it's helped a lot. And yeah, so for 2021, we called me Adam Ant. It's like from some cartoon, this ant with superpowers. Yeah, the return is coming. So yeah, thank you for watching. This is super long, and I'm super sorry, and I still didn't cover as in-depth as I wanted to, but then again, I can't make a documentary about my life, and not many people would watch that. But yeah, thank you for watching. The vlog of the training this weekend is coming. I still need to edit that, But yeah, again, fine. I'm gonna finish the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.